Hello students, in previous class we discussed about electrical conductivity of metals and heat conduction by metals. Today in this class we are discussing about chemical properties. The properties you have studied so far are all the physical properties. So these properties are quite reliable. Chemical properties are better to indicator of determining as to whether the given material is metallic or not. So till yesterday we discussed about the physical properties of metals. So by these properties we can identify the material is metal or not, okay, but sometimes some confusing like that will be there, okay. For example, graphite, you know graphite, that graphite we are using in pencil lead. This graphite is the good conductor of electricity, okay. So graphite is the good conductor of electricity. So that graphite is the good conductor of electricity. So we know that metals are the good conductors of electricity. So here this graphite is there, no, we are saying that graphite is the good conductor of electricity, no, but that graphite is made up of carbon. So we know that carbon is the bad conductor of electricity. So and carbon is one of the non-metal, okay. So graphite is good conductor of electricity, but carbon is the bad conductor of electricity, and that graphite is made up of carbon. Like this we have some confusions, okay. We know that metals are having shining surface, okay, so they are called as lustrous. Means metals are metals are lustrous, but non-metals are not non-lustrous. Means metals are giving shining, non-metals are not shine, but diamond is shining, but diamond is giving shining. So but this diamond is made up of carbon. This diamond is one of the form of carbon, okay. So we know that metals are lustrous, non-metals are non-lustrous. Means metals are giving shining, non-metals are not giving shining, okay. So here diamond is giving shining. Can we call that diamond as a metal? No. Why? Because that diamond is one of the form of carbon. Carbon is a non-metal, it is not giving shining. Like this some confusions will be there. So to determine the given material metal or not, we should see some chemical properties also, okay. Chemical properties are the better indicators of determining whether a given material is metal or not. Reaction with oxygen. Reaction with oxygen. To know the reaction of oxygen with metals and non-metals, okay. So how the oxygen is reactive with metals and non-metals, now we will discuss. So to perform this activity we need some materials. So what are that materials once you see, okay. So one of the metal sample is magnesium, and another one is non-metal sample, sulfur. And we need spirit lamp or Bunsen burner and a litmus paper, okay. How to perform the experiment, now we will discuss. Take a small strip of magnesium and note its appearance and burn it, and note the appearance after burning. So take small strip of magnesium ribbon and observe its appearance and burn it, and after burning what happened? So magnesium, after burning the magnesium you will get ash, okay. That magnesium combining with the oxygen present in the atmosphere, okay, and we will get magnesium oxide. Next, collect the ashes of magnesium in a test tube and add some distilled water to it, and test the solution with red and blue litmus paper and note the color change in, okay. So we took here magnesium ribbon and we burned the magnesium ribbon. That magnesium ribbon burn combining with oxygen and form magnesium oxide. Means when we burn the magnesium ribbon we will get white colored ash, okay. So take that ash in a test tube and add some distilled water to that test tube. So and we will get a solution and test that solution with the help of blue and red litmus paper. Okay, so when we put the blue litmus paper, what happened? When we keep the red litmus paper in that, what happened? Observe. Okay. Next, take a small amount of powdered sulfur in a deflagrating spoon and heat it. So here in this picture we can observe one jar now. In that one spoon is there, that is called as deflagrating spoon. So in that spoon we will take small amount of powdered sulfur, okay, and heat it. Okay, you can make your own spoon by using a metal bottle cap and wrapping a wire around it. So we can make our own spoon with the help of metal bottle cap and take a metal bottle cap and wrap a wire around it. With the help of that also we can make a wire. In that, take powdered sulfur and heat it. As soon as sulfur start burning, okay, here don't inhale the fumes. Why? Because they are harmful. As soon as sulfur starts burning, introduce the spoon into a glass jar or tumbler. Okay, so in the spoon we took some sulfur powder and we are heating, and after that introduce that spoon in the glass jar or tumbler. Next, cover the tumbler with a lid. Cover the tumbler with a lid to ensure that the gas produced does not escape. So cover the tumbler with the help of a lid. So then what happened? The gas produced does not escape. And remove the spoon after some time, but try to keep the jar covered. After some time remove the spoon. Okay, when you are removing the spoon, try to keep the jar is covered. And add small quantity of water into the tumbler and quickly replace the lid. And add some amount of water to the tumbler and quickly replace the lid. And shake the tumbler well. So shake the tumbler and check the solution with red and blue litmus papers. And test the solution with the blue litmus paper and red litmus paper. What is happening? So here, when the samples are burned, they are react with oxygen in air to give different products. So here, first we took magnesium, no? So we burn the magnesium. So this magnesium, it is reacting with the oxygen present in the air, okay, and form magnesium oxide. Here one equation is there, no? Magnesium plus oxygen gives rise magnesium oxide. Magnesium plus oxygen gives rise magnesium oxide. Magnesium symbol Mg, oxygen formula O2. These two are combining and form magnesium oxide. Okay. At the same time, we are burning sulfur, no? Sulfur also combining with the oxygen. When we are burning the sulfur also combining with the oxygen present in the atmosphere and form sulfur dioxide. So sulfur symbol S, oxygen formula O2. And these two will combine and form sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide formula SO2. All the products in the above reaction are oxides, but they are same in nature. The products here formed are the oxides. They are in same nature. Once we will see. Okay. The oxides of magnesium turn red litmus to blue, and the oxide of sulfur turn blue litmus to red. From this knowledge, you can say that the magnesium oxide is basic and sulfur dioxide is acidic. So here, magnesium combined with oxygen form magnesium oxide. Sulfur combining with oxygen and form sulfur dioxide. So these two substances nature is same? No. Okay. How can we say these two substances nature is same or different? By testing with the help of blue litmus paper or red litmus paper, we can say. Okay. So see here. If we put blue litmus paper in the magnesium oxide, means magnesium oxide solution, then what happened? Its color is not changing. If we place red litmus paper in magnesium oxide solution, it is changing into blue. Okay. If the red litmus paper changing into blue, then we can call that nature has a basic nature. We know that in 7th class acids bases chapter we discussed. What is that? If the blue litmus paper changing into red, then we can call that substance as a acid. If the red litmus paper changing into blue, then we can call that substance as a base. So here, when we place red litmus paper in magnesium oxide solution, it is changing into blue color. So that substance is basic in nature. At the same time, if we put blue litmus paper in sulfur dioxide solution, it is changing into red color. Okay, if we place blue litmus paper in sulfur dioxide solution, it is changing into red color. So that sulfur dioxide is acidic in nature. Sulfur dioxide is acidic in nature. If we place red litmus paper in that, no change we can observe. You can also infer that non-metal react with oxygens to give oxides which are acidic. So from this activity we can say like this: non-metals reacting with the oxygen and form their oxides, and that are in acidic nature. At the same time, metals react with oxygen and form their respective oxides. Okay, so these are basic in nature, means metal oxides are basic in nature and non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. So from this activity we can say like this: non-metals are acidic in nature and metals are basic in nature. You know that most of our human body is made up of water. So it is not surprising that majority of human body is mass is oxygen. Carbon, the basic unit of organic molecule, is the second, and 99% of the mass of the human body is made up of just 6 elements. They are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium and phosphorus. Now we will discuss one more activity: rusting of metals. In class 7th we studied rusting of iron in detail. In 7th class we studied about the rusting of iron in last chapter. Okay, so recall that iron rust when it is in contact with air that contain oxygen and moisture. So this iron rust when it is coming with contact with the air which is contain oxygen and moisture. So when it is covered with paint, it cannot come in contact with the air. So when it is covered with the paint, it cannot come into contact with the air, hence it does not get rust. When it is covered with the paint, it cannot come in contact with the air, hence it does not get rust. If paint is covered on iron, if paint is covered on iron scratched, then the rust forms on it. So we painted iron articles. No, if that place is scratched, then what happened? Then it will form rust. Okay. So how this iron article will get rust? Now we will discuss. Okay. So in our homes we can observe. Iron gates. Iron gates will be there. No. So these iron gates that are in open air. Okay, so here these iron gates that is made up of iron. No, if we not paint that, then what happen? This iron is coming in contact with the oxygen and moisture present in the air and form iron oxide. Okay, that's why a brown layer is formed on that iron. This process is called as rusting. So what is the meaning of rusting? Iron articles, if we left in open air, then these iron articles are coming with contact with the oxygen and moisture present in the air, and that form a brown colored layer on it. So this process is called as rusting. So if we leave it like that only for some days, then what happen? That will be corroded. That iron articles will be corroded. This process is called as corrosion. Okay, so how can we prevent the iron articles from rusting? To prevent the iron articles from rusting, we should paint the iron articles. When the iron articles are when we paint the iron articles that are not coming directly into contact with the air or moisture, then that does not form rust, okay, and it won't corrode it. So to prevent the iron articles from rusting, we should paint that. Something similar happen with other metals also. Magnesium ribbon is dull when exposed to air and shiny if we cut it. Okay, so magnesium ribbon, it will become dull when it is exposed to air, and it will become shiny when we cut it. So like that, silver objects and jewelry becomes black. Silver objects and jewelry also becomes black if we will use like that only someday, so many days. Okay, copper statues and vessels become dull and green. Okay, so copper statues and copper vessels also we are using in our home. Okay, so in our home we will use copper articles also. Okay, like some utensils. Okay, some articles, copper articles we are using in our home, that will become dull green. Why like that? Why? Because all these metals react with the components in air. So silver objects and jewelry become black after some days if you will use like that only, and copper statues and vessels and copper articles also become dull green. Why like that, changing its color? Why? Because all these metals react with the components in air. So these all the metals react with the components of air. But gold jewelry does not become dull. These all will become dull, but gold jewelry does not become dull. What could be the reason? Why? Because thus different metals react with the components of air in different manner and different rate and different conditions. Okay, so here gold, it does not react with the components present in the air. That's why it does not losing its color. Except this gold, remaining articles like copper will be there, no, iron will be there, no, that is reacting with the components present in the air and that are losing its color. Okay, there are some materials which do not react with the components of air. What are that? Gold and platinum are such metals which do not get rust. So some materials will be there that does not react with the components present in the air. What are that? Gold and platinum. These metals are does not react with the components of air and that does not get rust. Okay, so then its color is not changing. This gold and platinum does not react with the air and does not changing its color, so and it not form rust, and that's why we are using this gold in the preparation of jewelry. Okay, so that's why this cost is more. We will discuss reaction with water. Okay, so take 500 ml of big or take 500 ml of beaker and fill half of it with water. Take 500 ml of beaker, fill half of it with water. Take the sodium which is stored in kerosene and keep it on a sheet of filter paper to blot the kerosene and cut a very small piece of sodium from it. Okay, so take here we took beaker and we fill water in that, and we took and take a sodium which is stored in the kerosene and keep it on a sheet of filter paper to blot the kerosene, and we cut a very small piece of sodium from it and put the remaining sodium back again in the kerosene. So from that, take a small piece of sodium and put the remaining sodium in the same kerosene. Next, standing away from the beaker, put the sodium piece in water using a forceps. Okay, so from that take that sodium piece, stand away from the beaker and put that sodium piece in the beaker with the help of a forceps. So the piece of sodium floats on the surface of a water with a hissing sound. So when you place the sodium in the water, the piece of sodium floating on the surface of a water and making sound like hissing. okay, that making some sound. Okay, this shows that sodium is reacting extremely fast with water. So this experiment shows that the sodium is reacting with water. So after the reaction is completed, test the solution with litmus paper. So here we kept sodium piece in water. Now that sodium is reacting with the water and making sound. So after the completion of the reaction, test the solution with litmus paper. So repeat the same experiment by using aluminum or iron. So you will not see any change even after a few minutes. This is because of the metals are reacting extremely slow with water. So if we do the same experiment with aluminum or iron, we cannot see any change after 5 minutes also. Why? Because this experiment shows that metals are react extremely slow with water. What about the non-metals? Non-metals generally they do not react with water. Okay, na? So till now we discussed the chemical properties of a metal. What are that properties? What are that properties we discussed? Reaction with oxygen and reaction with water and rusting of metals. These are the properties.